it is.
I know, Wendy, it's on my calendar. It's Thursday. It's time to take a breath.
Now, I know it's on your calendar because I bet you're not even sure what day it is today.
Well, I'm a little bit, yeah. I'm So, ladies, I just got back, as you know, from Mexico this week, and it was a wonderful week, but it was really busy. Had lots of met a lot of great people, a lot of great experiences. But I got home Monday night, so I'm a little bit trying to catch up. But Wendy, how blessed it is to see our people on the ground and be able to connect with them.
Debra, and of course you come back into Nehemiah week. Many of you who've never been to Nehemiah week, you're like, what in the world is Nehemiah week? It is our week-long conference. And I think the week before is like go time, right? So it's like no sleep, it's just getting it all come together. So I think, Debra, next time you may want to rethink your scheduling around Nehemiah week. We know better, right? For like a month.
We do well more. I've been around a day or two. I know that this time of the year is always pushing to get the last minute details just right, and get everything together. But I think I like to live a little dangerously.
Well, don't we all? We do need to, I think we may need to play a podcast or two about, in alignment and learning to say no. I think we may have one out there, ladies, that you can check out in case that's true. Well, Debra, one of the things that I think is really was a big thing for me what you shared about what you realized in talking with the women in Mexico, because you actually spoke at our international or at a women's conference there. Before we jump into our topic today and starting that, would you share a little bit with the ladies here that are thinking, I'm a hot mess, it's a hot mess, or, nobody else is realizing that walking this journey, and just share a little bit about what you discovered from some of the women there in Mexico.
Well, Wendy, thank you. I had an opportunity to speak at, we had a women's conference on Friday night, and then I was asked to share at a church on Sunday. And even though we had women, it was 4 women, men were also there in the crowd. And I got really some great feedback. We've been talking for the last over 2 years about women's issues in the workplace, maybe not taken seriously, overlooked. Our businesses may not be the main breadwinner, right, in the family. Maybe we just do something on the side, or what we called our side hustle, and that we just didn't really take it all that seriously. How could God use that? And it's no different for the women in our sister country of Mexico. Now they have some other additional issues that they have to overcome, and stereotypes. We're probably about 20 or 30 years behind us in that effort of recognition, but it's still the same. How do I balance my family with my work? How do I ensure that I earn respect on the job and in the marketplace? How do I see myself? And so I shared some of the lessons that we've been talking about from the modern Proverbs 31 woman. And it was just a blessing to see the response that women and men had about this idea. And some young women were in the crowd. Some of them were teenagers. And many of them said, please keep saying the message. We need to hear it. So I'm very grateful to God that he gave me this opportunity, the platform to speak into these individuals' lives. We talked about balancing versus alignment. We've talked about that here. Operating in excellence. 3 lessons that we talked about from the Proverbs 31 woman, that she knows who she is. She's God's masterpiece. She is built for a reason and a purpose. That we need, second one is that we need business acumen. We need to know how to run our businesses. using the world's best practices that are founded on the principles we find in the Bible, and that we rely on the Holy Spirit to do what He does in our lives. And then the third thing is that we need to serve with love in all that we do. So no matter our circumstances, because unfortunately, a common theme, I believe, not only for our women in the southern border areas, which we all know because we've seen it in the news, but also women in the U.S. I'm always amazed by this. No matter whether we're assaulted, abused, or abandoned, it undermines our perception of who we are. And truly, if we can allow Jesus to heal us, because when you and I have we're both have these issues as well, and we have to allow Jesus to work and heal our hearts and minds, so that we can then be able to claim victory and not be a victim. And I think one of the biggest messages that women heard there is that they are important to God. Their business is important to Him, no matter how big or how small, and that they are His precious masterpiece, created by the master designer, the master crafter. And so I was really just blown away by the reception and how well men accepted it. Pastors were streaming it to their churches. It was just such a blessing, and how God used that platform to speak through me to them. And now, Wendie, I've got a whole other series in mind for us as we get through this, because I've got more. The Lord had downloaded some more ideas for us.
I love that. But what I think, Debra, that just really, I just love watching God work. I don't know about you ladies, but I love watching God work. When I get out of myself and look around and to see all that He does and all the things that get put in place so that He uses ordinary everyday things to create miracles and just works of art. I think about what you said about a stage, right? He gave you a stage. And next, we have our international conference next week, and we have another stage. And I think about all that God is bringing forth for that we've got so many amazing speakers and things that are going to happen. But what I'm hearing you say is that He's provided a stage for each one of them to share His message, because I know these speakers. I know they have prayed and poured into this and poured it, they have dived into the Word. They've opened themselves up to share God's message as they're preparing for this, because God has given them that exact same thing.
Yeah, well, when we teach in BE, don't we? That opportunity is our preparation intersecting with God's timing. And I believe this. I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And quite frankly, when I was asked to go to the church and preach, I thought, "Oh, who, me?" I felt the same way like Moses did. Wait a minute, am I the best speaker here? But this was preparation. You and I've been preparing for a very long time. We've shared this dream around women in business, and here was the opportunity. And what a great lesson. We cannot walk away from the opportunity that God has prepared for us, no matter whether we feel we're ready for it or not, that we need to step into it with boldness, with confidence, and the ability to say, thank you, Jesus, for this time. And then just go for it. I mean, I had to be translated. But you know what? His message came through, and I've been thanking Him every day since.
Well, Debra, we're getting ready. It's been all hands on deck. I don't know about you, but I'm reminded that Nehemiah, the week before, is not the week to sleep, right? And so getting prepared. But, let's share again this opportunity that God has presented for us and for the women who are here listening. I'd love to tell them a little bit about, if they've never even heard of what Nehemiah week and what's going to happen and what they can expect. Because you know what? I believe that there is messages that these women and men who are listening to us today, that God has prepared for them to hear. But wow, it is such an amazing week. It blows my mind every year to see it come together and all of that. And so let's kind of tell them a little bit about what they can expect. Now, I know when we do when we do Nehemiah Week Live, it's one of your favorites. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what Monday's going to be like?
Well, Monday is the kickoff date. It's when our international family comes together. Now, when we're in person, it is a family reunion. No matter what corner of the world that you come from, we are one family. But this is a virtual event, and we're still coming together as one family. And we're going to be visiting kingdom businesses in our various regions around the world to learn how they do business, some of the challenges, some of the successes they've had. You'll get to know the entrepreneur and who they are, and you will feel like you have visited each one of these areas and these regions. You will learn about business culture, the entrepreneur themselves. It is like getting on our proverbial tour bus. We always get on a tour bus, and we drive and go to the center where we're going to get on our Zoom tour bus, and we're going to go to these various businesses, and you're going to learn more about them.
They are so inspirational too, to hear. One of the things that always surprised me was I thought, well, in my little neck of the woods and my little business, I got these problems. And then I hear about businesses and in Africa and Asia, and they're struggling with the same things, and they're overcoming and doing similar things. It's amazing. Well, that is Monday, and we are so excited about Monday. But Tuesday, we have some incredible speakers who are going to be joining us on Tuesday. I don't know if any of you have had an opportunity to be a part of any of Andy Mason's presentations. Andy Mason this year is going to be talking about how to know and protect your priorities. That to-do list we've been talking about, ladies. He is going to really talk about how do we do that. This year, Nehemiah Week is about operational excellence. And so there's Andy Mason, and he is going to share how do we know what our priorities are, and then how are we going to protect them. That's going to happen on Tuesday. That is not a presentation I want to miss. I love listening to Andy. He has such a wealth of information, and it's just going to be amazing.
And his Australian accent doesn't hurt any at all either, right?
No, it does not. It does not. Well, why don't you tell them about who one of our other speakers on Tuesday is? A powerful woman.
She is. And, we've had the opportunity at our staff retreat to have Soren, I got to make sure I said that right, Soren Bacher be a speaker for us. She is a pastor here in our local region, the North Pacific Northwest, and has a wonderful insight, a unique insight. And she's going to be talking about a biblical key for prosperity. Now, I know we hear that word prosperity and we get all kind of worried about prosperity gospel. That's not what this is, but it is about understanding from a biblical perspective about prosperity in a way that will challenge us, that will open our eyes, that will see things differently. She is a powerful speaker, a powerful woman, a powerful woman of God, and has her own conference that's going to be coming up in October, I believe, as well, in Southern Oregon. So I know that all of us are going to be just very much blessed by what she's going to bring to the table.
Well, Debra, we also have our very own Susan Schramm and Patrice Sage will be our MCs throughout the week. One of my favorite parts of the week is our morning. We start with prayer. Our international partners, each day, someone from a different region will be leading the prayer. Oh, it's just not something to be missed. Then we're going to have our praise and worship and our devotional, and each day will be done by different pastors. We have Pastor Anthony Moore, who's always one of my very favorites. We have Pastor oh my stars, I just missed Lamonde.
Noella.
I'm like, I know his first name. I love when he shares. And we've got, I believe Pastor Gabriel's going to be speaking as well. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and they're both from Paris, so they'll have that European and East African perspective that can really lend. I love the way that we expand our cultural knowledge and being open to more things that are happening.
Well, if you're not registered for Nehemiah Week, you can absolutely do that now. We are putting some specials in the on our here and in the chat box, so you can register. It's not too late. But our morning prayer devotional and our praise and worship, we push out live on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can join us. I encourage you to join us in the morning. Once the devotional is done, then we go off of live and we join into the conference. And so it's where you'll want to join us there. Well, on Wednesday, one of the special speakers we have is going to be Scott Reiser. Now, Scott Reiser has spoken a number of times at our conferences. He is phenomenal. And if you've had an opportunity to, really join in and hear some of his presentations, but he's going to be talking about best practices versus kingdom practices. Are they same or different?
Wow, we've been talking about that, haven't we? Best practices,
exactly.
Business principles, right? And so this will be interesting to hear from him.
I agree, and I cannot wait. Well, on Wednesday as well, probably. I was thinking this is going to be a highlight, and I'm thinking these are all kind of highlights. I can't wait for all of them, right? Because on Wednesday, Ann Byler is going to be there, and she is going to be speaking on the presence. Now, she spoke at our global forum in June, and whoa, that blew me away. I mean, she was just amazing. She was at Life Surge and has spoken there. We are so excited to have her share her message about the presence. Can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah, she has a phenomenal testimony and story of her own life. If you haven't participated in that or taken her course through Nehemiah Project, this is you'll want to be a part of that as well. The only thing that could get better, Wendie, is if we gave out Auntie Anne's pretzels to everybody at the same time. Why? You've been instrumental in putting this all together, Wendie. I'm surprised you haven't figured out a way to make that happen.
I know, because I'm going to tell you, I love those pretzels. I have a weakness for those. I would in a heartbeat. Well, on Wednesday, we still have a couple of other speakers. We have Chuck Prophet. He's going to be talking about the adaptive advantage. Now, that's going to be really powerful. How what kind of advantage do we have when we are being adaptive to what the world, what is coming our way? I can't wait. I mean, Chuck inspires me every time he speaks.
He has such I've known Chuck for, I don't know, over maybe 10 or 11 years now, maybe it's close to 12. And I really appreciate his insights. He's very, very thoughtful, but he communicates his ideas in such a simple, clear way that are very easy for us to take a hold of and think, now, why didn't I think about that? And I love his enthusiasm and his joy for God and his joy for life. It just oozes out of him. And so I'm looking forward to hearing from Chuck again this year.
Yeah, and what he's done with Sustainable Church and helping churches just flourish and grow, and it's just going to be amazing. Well, you know what? We also have on Wednesday one of our very own who's going to be speaking, Miss Anna Maria Lowry, will be there to speak. And you know what? She has kept it pretty close to the vest on what she's going to be talking about. And I'm absolutely fascinated with her title. It's called Build the ICE. Don't break it.
Sounds mysterious to me.
It does. But you know what? I have listened to her speak, and you know, her heart for helping entrepreneurs in the diversity space and to helping them, you know, learn to navigate that and do business with big business. You know, I love what she's able to do, take small businesses and help them do business with big business in the big boy arenas, right? And just thrive and flourish. And so you know, this is going to be amazing. But you know what? That's just on Wednesday.
I know we got Thursday.
And Thursday is one of our, I think, it's one of the anticipated days because this is our investors forum. And this is where we have entrepreneurs. It's our Shark Tank. Or Guppy Tank. I like Guppy Tank better. Shark Tanks, they just sound so mean. So everybody laughs at me when I call it the Guppy Tank because they're just not quite as mean, but they're pretty tough at the investors panel. We've got entrepreneurs who are going to be presenting their businesses to investors. You can join us and hear the feedback. We're going to have a panel with Rena Hicks and Jeff Schaefer, Ron Wilkinson, and Howard Edward Fitzpatrick, who's going to really give us some insights. If you need to raise capital, what is it that you need to do? What do you need to be prepared for? And how do you prepare your business? If you're in that place, Thursday, you want to be there.
And really what great training ground, even if you don't need capital right at the moment. You know, you can learn more about your business, how to reflect and look at your business plan and your business model. How can you make some improvements that can make you world class, no matter the size of your business? So
absolutely.
This is going to be exciting. Well, Wendie, you and I are going to be part of a Women in Business breakout group. And we thought we would just go ahead because it's Thursday. It is time for Take a Breath. And we're going to continue having our podcast right through this breakout. And we're going to continue our conversation around the modern Proverbs 31 woman and share it with our global network of women who will be with us as well. So you want to be a part of that. Wendie, I just love you. You know, you jump into the deep end of the pool with me. I come up with these crazy ideas and you go, okay, let's try it. And so, you know, I think it is going to be a fun day introducing women to some of the things that we're thinking about. So you don't want to miss it. We'll tape it. If you're not able to be live, it will be taped and available. We'll get it out on our YouTube channel and make it available on our Facebook channel as well.
Well, you know what? We also have the men's breakout session. And this year, Jason Braun is going to be talking about leading your family with operational excellence. Nice. I don't want to miss ours, but man, I would love to hear it because I've heard Jason Braun speak too, and he has an amazing ministry working with men and fathers. And so he does a father's camp, and it's going to be great. So, men, there is something for you as well in that breakout. But Debra.
Well, wait a minute. Before you finish, you brought up a good point. If you can't be there for everything, register for the week because your registration will give you access to the recordings later. So if you're not able to be there on a particular day or a particular session, you will still have access. You can still get in and be part of the learning and the excitement. We'll have some forums where you can share and your discussion points and so forth. So don't let that stop you. Go ahead and get registered so that you can, because I'm going to have to listen to him. Because
I'm in agreement. I do too. And I don't want to miss anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So I like to listen to, you know, some of them I listen to over and over throughout the year because there's just so much value there. Well, Debra, your very favorite.
My baby. The International Business Plan Competition is on Friday. This is a free event. Everyone is welcome. We'd like for you to register and join by Zoom, because you as the audience will be able to share your choice of the 4 entrepreneurs that will be competing to be the International Business Plan Competition winner 2022. This year, we have representatives from Europe, Jennifer, representing the Paris E-Community Center. From Africa region is Dominic, representing the Kenya E-Community Center. Okay, if Kenya wins again this year, they get to take home the trophy. 3 years in a row.
It's time for Vancouver Center to win.
Nobody's done it yet. Out of Asia, representing Malaysia Center, Penang Center, is Joy and Gino. And then out of North America and our Vancouver Center is Jason. These 4 brilliant entrepreneurs have very different businesses, but they'll be doing their 10-minute presentation. We have judges who will be asking them questions, and they'll try to answer those. Our judges, Wendy's going to lead the judges. You are a brave girl. Thank you. I've done it for many years, but that's a brave girl. And helping the judges to come to a selection. And then we're going to announce that at the State of the Ministry on Saturday. So what's the word I want to say? Lorna Mutegi from Kenya, and my colleague, that's the word, that my colleague Lorna and I are going to MC this event. I love working with her. We have a great time. It's going to be interesting. You want to be there to support your favorite entrepreneur. And again, learn, see how they present their businesses, hear the questions from the judges, go back and look at your own business and say, where do I need to make some adjustments? And I tell you, we've got a good group of judges this year, and it's going to be exciting.
Well, you know what? It's also for those of you who are currently in biblical entrepreneurship, taking a class, this is going to be a great time to see the finished product, see what's happening, and it's just amazing. It is so inspirational. It's just incredible. But on Saturday is the State of the Ministry. And this is where, first of all, we announce who the winner is.
Yes.
That's number 1. We get to hear from last year's winner. She's going to share some words and some updates about what's happened to her business over the year. But man, we got some great, again this year, I'm so excited. Vanessa and Jason Brewer are going to be MCs. They are amazing. Vanessa is a news anchor, and Jason is a weather
meteorologist.
A what?
Meteorologist.
There you go. So, and then our keynote speaker is going to be David Benham. Now, he inspires me every time he speaks. He talks the truth. He talks to entrepreneurs, and he gets down into it and gives so much information. The business plan and the State of Ministry are free events. There is no reason that you shouldn't be registered to attend. All of our conference is going to start 9 a.m. Eastern Standard. We end around 1 or 2 o'clock each day. You do not want to miss this event. I cannot wait.
I can't either, Wendy. And I think you let us know today we have over 450 people registered so far. So when we talk about a family, we have a big one. And you want to get to know, you have a chance to get to know and connect with others and participate. Wendy, we have even some specials that are happening next
week. But we're not going to tell them. You have to come. You have to come to Nehemiah Week. We have some amazing specials that you do not want to miss. So if you've been thinking, I need to take biblical entrepreneurship, I want to become a certified trainer or coach, you need to be at Nehemiah Week, because these specials are only available during Nehemiah week. So Saturday night at midnight Eastern Standard, those specials go away. So you want to take advantage of this. But more than that, come and network with other Christian entrepreneurs. Be a part of this amazing conference. Learn and grow and connect. That's the best part, connecting with other like-minded entrepreneurs that are going to walk this journey out with you. Deborah, our time is up. Our time is up.
Oh, I know. Next week, we want to see everybody next week and be a part of this. And when you arrive there, you can, put in the chat box, you heard it here on Take a Breath. We'd love to know that you're here with us as well. Wendie, until then, the most important thing is from 1 Chronicles 16:11. Seek the Lord in his strength. Seek his face always. Thank you, ladies, for your support. Men, we'll see you soon.